So the verdict is in the Jennifer Crumbley case. Guilty of all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. If you're not following this case, this is the case that arises out of the Oxford school incident from a couple of years ago. Ms. Crumbley is charged as being the mother of the minor child that was involved at the Oxford school incident. My problem with this case is that the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office had the option of charging the teenager as a juvenile or as an adult, and they elected to charge him and then later go on to convict him as an adult. If you have an adult who commits a crime, the parents are not liable for the actions of their adult child. So if we change the facts of this case just a little bit, and instead of being a 15-year-old, he is instead 25 years old and still living at home, we would say, well, of course, the parents cannot be held liable. But can they? Under this case, it's kind of possible that they could. The Court of Appeals has already kind of struggled with this case. They reviewed Ms. Crumbley's case to determine whether or not there was enough probable cause for it to go to trial. And in their decision that they handed down, they repeatedly referred to the teenager as EC, which is his initials. That is something you would traditionally do involving a juvenile. In that case, People v. Head is cited and relied upon by the Court of Appeals to establish that involuntary manslaughter may be appropriate in certain cases. In Head, a parent allowed his 9 and 10-year-old child to be present in a bedroom playing video games, violent video games, when they came across a very dangerous item and decided that they would reenact what they did in the video game. And as a result of that, one of them was unalived. The parent was charged with involuntary manslaughter as a result of that and was convicted. And the Court of Appeals in that case upheld that conviction because the parent's obligation to supervise their children extends to that and can entail criminal liability. My problem with the Crumbley case is that you are dealing with a person who's right there on that edge. Could be a juvenile, might be of such tender years that doesn't appreciate the ramifications of certain actions, or might be old enough to be treated as an adult. Clearly, in this case, there was ample evidence to establish that the teenager was capable of understanding what he did and was treated and convicted as an adult. So he is going to spend the rest of his life in prison because he was convicted as an adult. Once the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office made the decision to treat him as an adult, that severed criminal liability under this theory of tender years to the parents. And I don't think that Ms. Crumbley should have been found guilty.